What up, YouTube world? It's your boy Halucha Lucha, aka Matthew J. Brownlee, and I'm back with another Raw review, Raw talk thing with Jigger. We're back on it. Uh, uh, Payback was Saturday, and we're gonna have the aftermath from Payback, but we're gonna mostly talk about Raw. And if we get the stuff that happened at Payback, we'll get to it. Show was cool. I enjoyed the show very much. Um, they had like I said, some fallout from Payback with Jey Uso returning to the Raw brand because of um, Cody Rhodes. Aftermath of Judgement Day coming with all the gold. They end up beating Sammy and Kevin for the tag team championships. The aftermath of Seth Rollins versus Nakamura, and some other stuff. And then, of course, we had that main event, which was Chef's Kiss with Gunther and Chad Gable. Did Chad Gable dethrone the 513 day, I think it is? 513 days or 413 days, something like that, of Gunther? Did he break that record? About to find out. So the show opens up with Jey Uso, as I said, on Payback. Cody Rhodes was on the Waller effect, and of course, Grayson Waller was saying that he wanted to give Cody Rhodes the Grayson Waller rub. He said he heard that there was a big surprise, a big announcement. What was it? And Cody Rhodes said, "You're right. I do have a pretty big announcement. I used." People might not like this in the back, but I kind of got somebody to come back to Raw. He was having some problems on SmackDown, and you know, I may regret it. We might not, but I used my little bit of stroke I got, and I got Jey Uso to come back to go to Raw. Crowd went crazy. Jay came out. Since day one issues. And then Grayson Waller was talking trash to Jey Uso. Boom, super kick to his mouthpiece. And so yeah, Jey Uso comes out, um, and he said he thanks Cody, but he said he knows, you know he rubbed some people the wrong way, but he's ready to take on all challengers, and of course, oh 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 let's go. Yeah, Sami Zayn comes out, of course. They go back and Sammy doesn't really talk. Pretty much, um, Sammy does most of the talking. He was like, "Hey, look, I get it. I know you well. I know you're going through a lot of things, but some people in that Raw locker room they ain't kind of feeling you. You kind of did some lot of bad things in the bloodline. And you kind of probably rubbed people the wrong way. But as for myself, I'm glad you're here." Offers out his hand. And Jay kind of just looked at him. He's like, all right, you know, I respect it, but I was just trying to let you know I'm here if you need me. And then he's about to leave, and then Jay goes, "Hey, Sammy, that wasn't very oozy of me, was it?" Because of the thing. Oozy. Anyways, so he extends out his hand, and then Sammy hugs him instead. And then they go back. Sammy's going back, and then Jay's with the crowd. Day one ish. Soon as he's starting to get up the ramp, Drew McIntyre's music hit, and then you can cut the tension with a knife. They was just staring at each other for a good minute, and then Sammy comes back out. He was like, "Hey, Drew, relax. It's his first day. Let him breathe a little bit." And then Drew just kind of looks at Sammy and then says, "Whatever, okay, fine." And he heads down the ramp. And then as soon as he does it, then Riddle's music hits, and then him again. He stares down Jay, and again, Sammy was like, "Come on, it's his first night back. Cut him some slack." And then he's like, "Whatever, bro." And then just went down. Was like, "Hey." So Already, Jay's got some enemies, and I like this. This is that story that hey, just because Jay's a babyface now, he took out uh, Roman and all them. He was doing all those things. I think he earned a lot of people's respect on the SmackDown side, but on the Raw side, they still a little salty about what you was out there doing, costing them the world, the championships, every chance you got. So for Jay's story, his story now is all right. Now he got to get the boys on the side. He said he did it on SmackDown. Now he got to go on Raw and maybe take a couple of them beatings. Earn that respect back. That's like, hey, our bad. Then they faced the Viking Raiders. Uh, I don't know if this was a no DQ match. It might have been just a tag team match, maybe. Um, yeah, I assume that this was just a regular tag team match. It was pretty decent stuff with with Viking Raiders and the um, other ones. Uh, what are their names? Riddle, McRiddle. I think they choose something else, but I'm gonna keep away McRiddle. Um, Kofi Kingston comes down to the ramp. He tries to help. They're talking about uh, uh, New Day's not here this week, or not New Day. My boy Woods isn't here this week because he still got the chair thrown at his eye and stuff like that. And Kofi tries to help Matt Riddle, but instead he has a trouble in paradise. I think Ivar ducks out the way. He hits Kofi, and Kofi hits Riddle instead. And then Viking Raiders use Kofi as a battering ram, hits Drew McIntyre, hits Ragnarok on the table, and hey, Viking Raiders get a second win, which is good. New Day, say what you want. I don't care what nobody said. Look, this is for someone who loves the Usos, who probably thinks that the Usos are probably. I don't know. It'll be interesting now to see. It always goes for me. It always goes back and forth between the Usos and the New Day, which is the best tag team. Every time that the New Day are on a brand, the tag division just gets better. As soon as they came back 3 weeks ago, you're already doing something with the Viking Raiders, something good with the Viking Raiders. They had the thing with Alpha Academy, and Matt Riddle and them, Judgement Day, who's the tag team champion, Sammy and Kevin Owens. It just seems like the New Day just makes everything better, no matter what. Whether it's just one of them involved in the tag thing, or is it both of them? They just help the tag division. When they went to SmackDown, they helped the tag division. When they went to NXT, they helped the tag division. Because before the New Day, the tag division, like, it was okay, but they wasn't really doing anything. As soon as the New Day like went into the tag division, it was like they had like a pep in their step. And honestly, I don't think like the tag division right now is good, but I don't think there's like a pep in their step. But as soon as you saw Street Profits go over there, it's like, oh wait, hold up now. So we'll see what happens with that. But Drew McIntyre is not a happy guy. He's backstage. He is cussing out everybody. He was like, Riddle, what the heck was that? He was like, why are people to keep getting in our business? He was like, I know. And then Riddle was like, relax, it's okay. He didn't mean to do it. And then Drew was, oh, he didn't mean to do it, huh? It's like you got freaking Jey Uso coming in. Second he steps out of line, I'll handle him. But uh, and if he steps out of line, he said he was going to handle Cody. He said Cody. He said he'll handle Cody. So he got Cody. He got Jey Uso. He said Kofi Kingston now. The Viking Raiders is still on his radar. And then Kofi, he comes out. He's like, hey, bro, that's my bad. And then they're going back and forth. It was like, oh, it's a coincidence. I accidentally hit Xavier was in the face. Oh, and then you accidentally just hit uh, uh, Matt Riddle in the face to make us lose. And then Kofi was like, "Oh, excuse me, Drew." It's like, "Oh, so you're the only person who's allowed to have mistakes now backstage." It was like it was an accident, it was an accident. And he's grumpy and he's leaving. And Kofi came to Matt Riddle. He was like, "Bro," he was like, "You need to get your bro. You need to handle that." And then Matt Riddle. This is what I like now because now this is the Raw and SmackDown, like everything is connected. It's not like everything is in one. Everything is separate. Everything's connected. Drew McIntyre, has to worry about Jey Uso, because Jey Uso, screwed everybody, with Jimmy for the bloodline. He has to now go against Cody because Cody's the one that brought him here. Probably Sammy then because Sammy's cool with Jay, who at the same time is in the tag division, upset with the New Day, and I think Kofi will probably be okay with the Usos because obviously they're cool. That their tag team history is connected, so maybe that'll be another thing that's connected with them. And then probably now with the Judgment Day, uh, we'll talk about that later. But now there'll be a thing with the Judgment Day. That'll probably be with Jade, but Jay and Sammy with the thing, the whole. So everything seems to be in that area connected. It's going to be a big connected mess. I'm going to love it. Next up, there's Stoey Starks. Zoe Starks. I can't talk today. I don't know what's going on with my voice. I'm out here talking like uh, Daffy Duck out here, sucker and succotash and all that good stuff. But Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler, they had like a backstage thing, um, and Shayna was like, "Hey, it's about time that you got rid of that dead weight over there." And they were just going back and forth talking about who was pretty much the dominant person in on Monday Night Raw. And the answer was Shayna Baszler, and I'm glad because back way back when they would have did a thing where Zoe Stark would have like got a win off of that. But I like that they're still building Shayna Baszler. I know Shayna Baszler. She's the big baddie in this, and yeah, they had a solid match. Went about 8-9 minutes, which was fine. Shayna Baszler got in a cure for the clutch, and she got it in for like normally people. She hits it in. A lot of people tap out kind of instantly or within like the first 5-10 seconds. She was in there for a good like 30, 35, 45 seconds. She was in there for a minute. She kept trying to get up and trying to try different ways to like pin her or go through the ropes and stuff like that. But nah, she had that held in tight, and Zoe Starks passes out. Shayna Baszler wins. Real recognizes real. She said, "Hey, you gave me a hell of a lot better fight than Ronda Rousey." And then Zoe said, "You gave me a way better fight than Trish Day." They fist bump, and I I don't really want to see them in the tag team because Rhea Ripley right now needs challengers. Like she's gonna have this match next week with what's her face? I don't know her name. Raquel. Sorry. But after that, unless Liv Morgan comes back, but they're gonna need they're gonna need to be in the tag division. Tag division kind of needs help, but Shayna just got out of the tag thing. Zoe just got out of the tag thing. I think Becky's probably going to be in NXT for a little bit, doing her thing with Tiffany Stratton. So she's going to need challengers. So I'm going to need her to have a thing with Shayna Baszler. That'd be a good thing, and that will keep them apart for until they want to do Becky versus Rhea. So Shayna for right now could be a good step in, like a good fast lane September, fast lane maybe fast lane maybe. I don't know what they're doing in October. I know November's um, Survivor Series, and she's probably going to do a champion versus champion thing. So it'll be interesting to see if like Liv Morgan comes back, and maybe they do a thing at Payback with Liv Morgan, and then maybe Shayna Baszler does something at the October pay per view, whichever that would be, and then maybe they'll do either a rematch or they'll do brand versus brand, and then maybe they'll finish it at the Royal Rumble, and that's where Rhea will get her final victory until she moves on to Becky Lynch, maybe at uh at WrestleMania. We'll see what happens, but that'll be interesting to see. Next up, um, throughout the show, they were doing a lot of like um, video packages, or not like the importance of the Intercontinental Championship, right? So they were doing like all past Intercontinental Champions, um, The Rock, Austin, Honky Tonk Man, everybody. They were doing past ones, and they were doing pretty much back and forth promos between Gunther and Chad Gable. Those were all great. Talk about more of that. Uh, they go backstage. I was reading the wrong thing from my notes, but they go backstage, and Adam Pearce is talking with Ricochet about whatever, and then Seth Rollins is like there, and then Adam Pearce is like, give me a second. Seth, hey buddy, old pal, friend, what are you doing here? He's like, hey, it's Monday Night Raw. I'm the champion. Uh, I need to talk to my peoples, finish my thing with Nakamura, what he did to me, and pretty much he was like, hey, you're injured, you don't need to do this. Ricochet was like, hey, you're not the only one, here, respect you, your GOAT, and I think, hey, he should be here, but just to let you know, you don't got to handle the division by yourself. There's other people here that can help you. Um, they throw a dope video package with Nakamura, again, speaking more in Spanish. I love it. Um, and he was talking about, hey, in the video package, was like, I underestimated you. Your will is even stronger to hold on to that championship. Hey, so I attacked you, and next time it'll be different. And then so Seth Rollins comes out, whoa, whoa, the greatest, all of that stuff, and he was saying, hey, I know what you want. You want a rematch. So Nakamura, come on, come out. He comes out. You want a rematch? How about me and you tonight? Nakamura's like speaking Spanish, speaking Japanese, and then he was like, oh, I don't think I understood what you're saying, but I assume that you said you accept my challenge, so let's go. And then he goes, no, like uh, I maybe there's a language thing that you didn't understand. Shinsuke Nakamura, do you want to face me for the title tonight? Now, no, no, no. So he kept going back and forth and saying no, he's not going to do it. It was like, well, then you leave me no choice. And then he goes in there, they fight a little bit. Uh, Shinsuke eventually gets the upper hand. The Ricochet comes out, and then Nakamura's like, hey, what's this doing? What's this guy's here for? What are we doing right now? And then they have the match, Seth Rollins versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Good stuff. Like it. Yeah, it was good stuff. Michael Cole um, brought up the stuff with Ricochet about the brass knuckles. Um, it'll be interesting to see why he said no to Rollins, but my assumption is he knows that what he did to Seth's back wasn't enough. He thought it was enough when he attacked the first time. He was like, "Oh, now no, I need to do more." If he does it today, his back is going to be the same it was Monday. So he wants to make sure he chips away his back a little bit more before he goes, okay, finally I accept your challenge at Payback, where I think that's where Nakamura will get the title. But in this match, he got Nakamura gets himself DQ'd. He takes a chair, boom, right on Ricochet's back. Takes him out, beats him up, um, and it's good stuff. So um, I'm pretty sure they're going to have another match down the line where it's going to be clean. Nakamura beats Ricochet. So after that, Judgment Day, they do their promo, pretty much the same thing that they talk about. We're the chaps, we're the best. Uh, you know, we got all the gold. We're the best. Boo, Dom. He gets all the great heat. Finn Balor, Grand Slam Finn, baby. It's everybody's great. North American champion's great. Thank mommy for believing in me and Damien. Thank the big man for trusting in JD. Just letting you know, if it was for him, we wouldn't probably be champions. Just letting you know. And thanks me because I'm the greatest Grand Slam fan. And then JD McDonough comes out. They're like, I kind of like you a little bit, so whatever you want to say, make it quick. And he was like, hey, you guys are good. He was like, kind of should hear me out because I'm the one that kind of helped you guys get the titles. Just saying, just saying. Let me end. It was like, okay, fine, sure. Because they were bigging up Dom Mysterio that he was the MVP, the one that helped everybody. But Finn and Damien, Finn and JD was like, hey, it's kind of hey, JD kind of helped too. Um, and then he goes in. He was like, hey, you guys did great. I'm happy for you. But I told you, Damien, you can't have that briefcase. The briefcase is tearing you up. You don't need it. And then he was like, you don't need it because I got you a new one. And it's a nice purple one that says send your money on the bank on it. It's kind of great. I kind of like it. It's kind of nice. And it was like, oh, wait, hold up. Everybody was like, hold up now, wait. It's kind of clean. Finn, hey, your guy, we kind of like him a little bit. And then pretty much uh, they do a thing where Sami Zayn comes out. He was like, "Hey, I mean, you guys can be happy. Good for you guys. I mean, it took 5 of you guys just to beat Kevin Owens and I. So how about I say, because of the person Dom, me and you 1-on-1." Uh, and then JD McDonough said, "No, hey, don't worry about him. You got. Hey, I'm also the person who helped you. So you don't need to worry about yourself with Dom. I'm gonna take you on, me and you 1-on-1." And Judgment Day was kind of looking like, hold on, it's like, okay, we like it, we like it. He was like, sure, go ahead, prove yourself, you do you. So he does that. So they go backstage. They're backstage. The Judgment Day got their kind of like how the Bloodline got their thing, and of course you can see Rhea Ripley right there in the middle. She's the leader. She is the leader. She is the Roman Reigns of the Judgment Day. And they're talking about JD being, the champion or joining Judgment Day. Finn's like, hey, I think it's a great idea. I mean, he made some good points. He did help us. He gave you your briefcase. He gave you a nice, decent, a real good briefcase. I think he should do it. You think he should do it? He was like, what do you think, Dom? He was like, hey, I kind of like him. It's growing on me. He was like, mommy, what you think? It's like, we'll see how he does tonight, and we'll think about it. And the priest was like, okay, I kind of like this. Finn was like, hey, you want to come help me? He was like, sure, absolutely. So they go back, and it was like, hey, you make sure you do what we talked about, and we'll talk about the other thing later. He's like, yes, mommy. She's sitting there by herself. I was like, ooh, yes, I like it. And then they do Raquel Rodriguez versus Chelsea Green. Um, Chelsea Green is arguing with Adam Pearce because it keeps talking about the titles. It was like, don't worry about the titles. Worry about me. I'm the one that should be defending my title. I should be the face of your thing. And why are you talking to Raquel? Because her Raquel was talking about the rematch with Rhea Ripley, and then she's berating Raquel, and then Adam Pearce is kind of just standing there, and then she just looks. She's like, "Oh, hey, Raquel, we were just talking about you, how great you are." And then she goes, "Hey, Adam," is like, "It is official, you two, right now." And then so they have the match, very short. Raquel, Tahana bomb, easy. She gets the win. The bell rings. Chelsea Green, she kind of tries to trying to run out a little bit. It was kind of fun. Um, yeah, Green. Chelsea Green is great. She's the goat. We love her. Next up is that match with JD McDonough and Sami Zayn. Good back and forth match. Wasn't long, and in the end results, uh, Dom gets interferes for JD McDonough. JD gets the roll up win on Sami Zayn after he kind of like beats up Dom for a little bit. He gets the win, and then Sammy's like, "Bro, what is going on right now?" So they kind of double like tagged him a little bit. Sammy gets the upper hand. He takes out Dominic Mysterio for a little bit. JD was like, "Hey, you gotta go. Don't worry about it. I got you. Run, run." So he leaves, and then Sami Zayn hits a haluva kick on JD, and they kind of they're celebrating with him. It was like okay, and then Sammy and no JD and Dom to come back and was like, "Hey, see, I told you, I got you." And they were like, "Okay." He's like, "Okay, come along, bring it." And then Dom was like, "Hey, you guys, um, I'll catch up with you later." And then so they go back, and Dom is talking to Jey Uso. Jey Uso's there. He was like, "Hey," he pretty much was like, "Hey, I understand. I know what it's like to come from a family and people, trying to live up to your expectations, coming, people turning on you and stuff like that. Just to let you know, if you need anything, Judgment Day, we got you." So I'm assuming that's what Rhea wanted Dom to do because they did kind of work together with the Judgment Day and the Bloodline thing. So they really never had actual problems. So it makes sense. And then Dom being the one to do is like, "Hey, I come from a Hall of Fame father, uh, a family who kicked me out, who disowned me, and didn't want nothing to do with me. But now I got a new family in the Judgment Day, and they care about me, they love me, and they take me in, and we can do the same thing with you." So that's interesting to see how that turns out. They announced some matches for next week. I don't remember what matches they are. Um, I don't remember what matches they are. I can look. I'm gonna look real quick to see what the matches are to see if they still have it up. WWE. Um, Nothing. I don't really see anything. They announced some things for NXT tomorrow. They announced that Cody Rhodes will be here next week. Oh yeah, and then in the women's title match. So they announced that Rhea Ripley versus Raquel's for the women's world championship. And during the promo, Raquel said after that um, Dominic Mysterio is banned from ringside. And then they announced that Cody Rhodes will be back, probably to talk about um, during the backstage segment. Jay was with Scrap Daddy, and Pierce pretty much told him, "Hey, you coming to Raw kind of ruffled a little bit of feathers, and kind of the fact that SmackDown is going to need somebody after, so they're going to trade you in for Raw." So, which is also good for Jey Uso to be such a big name that they're going to have another big name trade for him, which will probably be Cody Rhodes. That would be my guess. It would be Cody. Um, so that is what I guess Cody's statement for next week is going to be. He's going to come back and be like, "Sorry, guys, on the Raw roster. Jey Uso's on Raw, and I'm going to SmackDown to finish my story against Roman. Bye." So that's pretty much how that's going to be. And then also one last thing before we talk about the main event, which was so good, baby. Um, Tommaso Ciampa walks up to Adam Pearce and was like, "Hey, do you finally got time to talk about that thing that we was going to talk about?" He said, "Yeah, come to my office." So they talk. My assumption would be Johnny Gargano, since they talked about, so since he's been online looking for Johnny Gargano. What? Oh, the main event. Oh, yeah. Was money, shmoney. So good. Chad Gable got his family out. It was one on one, no interruptions, no Imperium, no Alpha Academy. Um, yeah, Gable was getting chopped, chopped everywhere, chopped on the turnbuckles, chopped. There was a little chain wrestling in the middle of the show. Um, yeah, this was good stuff. Um, he tried to hit his chaos theory, but Gunther reversed it into like a clothesline. Tried to hit a slam, but he reversed that. Chaos theory for a close two. Gunther hit the power bomb on Chad Gable for a 2. Um, yeah, this was great. He hit the ankle lock on him with the grapevine, and Gunther got out on the ropes at the last second. Um, yeah, but in the ring general, and still Intercontinental Champion as of tomorrow. He will tie. And then Thursday, he will officially be the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion all time after he hit a clothesline, well, power bomb. Boom! Big old clothesline lariat. 1, 2, 3. And still, woo! And this crowd was hot for Chad Gable every time he was hit the Chaos Theory or a slam. It was doing stuff off like a slam off the top rope, ankle lock. It was great. It was good stuff. They did a WWE.com thing where Gable and Jason Jordan for Alpha Academy. Yeah, American Alpha. I was lying. American Alpha. They were going back and forth, talk about you deserve this. Also heard that Jason Jordan produced this match. I think they said that Jason Jordan has produced all of Chad Gable's matches. So that was the whole thing. Gunther had his title, but he kind of looked at Chad Gable and was like, "Hey, don't you ever in your life almost beat me again?" That's how he kind of looked at him. He was like, "Hey, don't ever do that again." Standing ovation for Chad Gable, of course, as he should. And then backstage, he pretty much said, um, "Hey, I was that close. I can be the jokey, haha, Chad Gable, but hey, when you disrespect me in front of my family, that's where all the fun and games stop. So maybe this will be a new Chad Gable. He goes on a run where it's like, hey, we do the fun and games, we do thank you, but it's time for us to get serious, to get down to business. So maybe there'll be more of the baby faces, but like the serious type, and then had Chad Gable get in those top story feuds, man, and then win, and then faces Gunther again at WrestleMania, where Gunther had already break all the records. First, he's the longest reigning champion, and now by this time next on WrestleMania, he'll be the longest reigning, like cumulative, like out of everybody cumulative Intercontinental Champion. So there'll be no doubt in anybody's mind for another million years to come that Gunther will be the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time after just one run. One run, and Gunther will be there and forever in the history books as the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time. Mark my words. I will be dead and gone by the time I'm like 100,000 years old, and that record would still stand. Amen. But yeah, that was the show. That was Raw. Good show. As I said, a lot of stories intertwined. That main event was fantastic. Now is on the hunt to see who's next for Gunther. What's going to go on with the tag team division? Drew McIntyre is mad at Kofi. New Day will probably be back next week. Do they do something with the Viking Raiders? Do they challenge Judgment Day? Where does Judgment Day go from here? All questions that I like the answer to. And they're probably going to main event Rhea and Raquel. Maybe Liv Morgan comes back after, and she'll be the next challenger at Payback. We don't know. We'll see what happens. But that was the show. If I were to give it a grade, I'd give it a solid B. Nice B, right in the middle. Um, but what did you guys think of the show? Let me know in the comments below. I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm out.